Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is an attempt to change my mind on Keldon Johnson.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
Alright guys, so we'll be watching this video called Keldon Johnson, the best young player nobody is talking about. So big shout out to RC for sending this to me. It was actually a few people that sent this to me, but RC was the first. So big shout out to you. And actually, RC, segue time. He's the one that got some merch, man. You guys go get you some merch, okay? Head on over to clanthemerchfan.com. Get yourself some merch, man. Really support your boy. But yeah, I'm sending out quite a few orders this upcoming Saturday. But yeah, if you guys want to support, head on over to the page and get her done, man. Get her done. I have no idea what to say. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this. Keldon Johnson, the best young player nobody is talking about. So let's speed this up just a little bit, and we'll see if I agree with this take. It has quite a few views, not gonna lie. Let's pull this up. I think 1.5 is good. Please don't copyright me.
It could be because they're in a small market.
Wait.
Every year, there's always a player that does some fantastic stuff for their team that goes completely overlooked. It could be because they're in a small market. It could be due to them not having the most aesthetically pleasing game, or any number of other reasons. And I'm not talking about the usual suspects that get brought up and people say, oh, this guy is so
Wait, there we go. I'm sure that music was annoying going over his music.
underrated, or why is nobody talking about this, when in reality a lot of people are actually talking about it. No, I'm talking about a guy where basically nobody is talking about it. That guy is Keldon Johnson. It's not like Keldon Johnson is some super obscure, only NBA nerds are going to know his name type of player. I'm sure a lot of people know who Keldon Johnson is, especially considering he played alongside some of the biggest names in the NBA
In the Olympics.
during the 2020 Olympics. He's a fairly well-known player, being drafted 29th overall by the San Antonio Spurs back in 2019, being viewed by many outlets as one of the biggest steals of that year's draft. But when I start going over some of the stuff that he was doing this past season, you're really going to start wondering where the hype was. Let's start by taking a look at what he did during the 2020-21 season so we can get an idea of the massive improvements he made last year. During the 2020-21 season, he put up 12.8 points and 6 rebounds per game on 55.7% true shooting, and he shot 33.1% from 3 on 2.6 attempts per game. But this past season, he recorded 17 points and 6.1 rebounds per game on 57.4% true shooting, and he improved to 39.8% from 3 on an increased volume of...
Well, to be fair, I mean, this team's makeup is completely different from his second season to third season. I will say this, though. His three-point percentage is very impressive, especially from the fact that we didn't necessarily have someone, and this isn't me taking shots. This is just how I truly feel, and I've always felt this way. I don't think that we had someone that was truly a really great facilitator, giving him, like, wonderful looks by any means. So it was really impressive on his part to shoot that percentage from 3. And he started off at, like, 20% from 3. Like, it was ugly the beginning of the season.
5.3 attempts per game. I'm not saying that he should have been the front runner for most improved player or anything like that, but his improvements probably deserved a lot more praise than they seem to have garnered. The improvement in the box score is great and all, but at the end of the day, what you're doing on the court is where the truth lies. And Keldon Johnson was doing a ton. Keldon Johnson is an ideal off-ball 3-and-D wing for the modern NBA. He knocked down 42.2% of his catch-and-shoot shots and 48.9% of his corner three-point shots this past season. He's great at initiating plays that can result in easy perimeter opportunities for himself.
Can I say this really quick? Thus far, everything that he has said is factual. I agree with everything that he said, but I don't know. I still don't necessarily see the stardom. Like, he hasn't said this, but a lot of Spurs fans, they would send this to me because they basically saying, hey, you don't get it. Keldon can be a star. He's going to be a star. I don't see it. I see him more as a really great role player for the Spurs. But yeah, I mean, that's important. That's really important to be a really great role player for any team, championship team, that is, if you want to be that.
Like here, where he gives the handoff on the pin down for Eubanks to give a flare screen for McDermott. Eubanks is going to roll, making Porzingis sag off just a little bit from Keldon Johnson, and McDermott is going to find him for an open 3. Here, he initiates a ball screen on the wing for Derek White, allowing White to drive.
He's a
Looney
big
is going to
body.
be focused on Derek White's drive, and White is going to dump it off to Pirtle in the paint. With the help focus on the interior, he kicks it out to Johnson for another easy 3-point opportunity.
Initiated by Derek White.
It's as simple as just positioning yourself in open areas on the perimeter that speak volumes to Johnson's feel for the game. He's not really playmaking in a traditional sense with the ball in his hands, but his off-ball playmaking is the result of him knowing how defenses are going to respond to his teammates' movements and actions. This allows him to give them easy bailouts and options when they're getting trapped or they're collapsing defenses with
I mean, yeah, this is just any role player. This is okay. Well, I'll be patient.
presence, making their lives as easy as possible. But there are tons of guys in the NBA that are good three-point shooters. It might as well be a prerequisite at this point that you have to knock down catch and shoot threes to be a solid starter in the NBA.
Yeah.
So what does Keldon Johnson do apart from the vast number of 3-and-D wings that can shoot threes off the catch that sets him apart from the crowd? If you've watched Keldon Johnson or any number of Spurs games this season, you'll know that he is a monster when attacking closeouts and getting downhill to the basket. He's 6'6" and 220 pounds. It's not like he's some super skinny, frail wing. He's built really well, and he has the advantage of strength when he's getting to the rim. One of the most interesting things that I noticed when watching the film on him for this video is just how nice of a floater he has. Typically with guys that are on the bigger side like Keldon Johnson, you don't really expect them to have a floater game. We usually just expect that from smaller guards who need to rely on it to mitigate their size disadvantages, but for a 6'6" wing to have it is fairly unusual. When you pair that with his size and build, you've got a guy that can muscle his way into defenders and finish over top of them even if he isn't directly at the rim. Like here, he's going downhill against Aaron Gordon, a guy with a size advantage who is a pretty solid defender, and he muscles his way into him before switching to his left hand to get the floater off over him to get the bucket. Here he gets it.
I don't think he was saying it was with his left hand. He just said he switched to his... Yeah, because I was like, no, he shot it with his right. All right, let me chill.
In the corner, and he attacks the basket, but Giannis is coming to provide supplementary help. Keldon is going to go airborne, but when Giannis goes with him, Keldon hits him with a beautiful up and under to finish with his right hand. On this one, he comes off the handoff and attacks the basket. He takes off well outside of the restricted area, going against two fantastic defenders in Giannis and Drew Holiday, but he weasels his way between them midair to get the shot off with his left hand.
He has really nice touch.
And get the 2 points. He's got some really great footwork as well, which is one of the reasons he's able to have such a large impact scoring with that floater. He gets it from Lonnie Walker and he attacks the paint. Kleba is covering him pretty tight, and he's going to see Dorian Finney-Smith sliding over to tag him on the drive. Keldon just steps between them perfectly with a massive stride with his left foot to get to the rim and finish over Kleba. Here he gets it up top and he explodes towards the paint. He then hits Sterling Brown with a spin move that gives him enough space to finish at the rim with his left hand. This combination of brute force and finesse sets him apart from most 3-and-D guys when it comes to attacking closeout.
But this is my thing with Keldon. Like, I absolutely love Keldon Johnson. Okay, you guys know that I've decided my take on him is he is very important to keep. I am happy that the Spurs are keeping him. I want him with this team going forward, and I think that he is going to be super important. But at the same time, I mean, these are things that we've talked about thus far. Like, we're halfway through the video. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure he has more to say. But as it stands right now, my opinion of Keldon Johnson is quite two-dimensional, especially offensively. Like, he doesn't really have great vision necessarily. Pretty much tunnel vision. Really good catch and shoot player, and he can go downhill. But that's it. And that's nothing wrong with that. That's a really solid player. I just don't know if that's like opens the door for, oh, he's going to be a star player. I haven't necessarily seen that creativity from him necessarily. I don't know.
He has an arsenal at his disposal that allows him to be a bit craftier with how he gets past and finishes over bigger defenders when going downhill. He complements his three-point shooting prowess and ability to attack the basket with a really intriguing mid-range game. He shot 41% from the mid-range on 328 attempts during this past season, so he was just under the league average of 42%. I like the idea of using him in set plays to generate good mid-range.
He's right below the league average in mid-range. That's not bad. That's really good, but like, yeah.
These dribble handoff plays where he weaves around the screener to get to the nail or to the free throw line are great for getting him easy rhythm pull-up shots. That closeout ability can be leveraged too, where here he's getting towards the basket and then Anthony Davis is going to come over to help, but Johnson stops just at the line to get Anthony Davis stumbling so he can get a free open look. I don't think he's going to develop as a creator to the point where he's some mid-range assassin creating off the dribble, but adding it to his arsenal as another way to put points on the board is going to be a fringe asset that can take him from just a complimentary high-end role player to potentially star caliber scorer, maybe propelling him into that 20+ points per game echelon. So offensively, there's so much to like about what Keldon Johnson brings to the table, but defensively, there's a lot to talk about. He's a really awesome isolation defender, putting that big frame to use and lateral quickness to be able to contain quicker guards and wings that have good ball handling ability. He does a great job of making himself as wide as possible while still maintaining the agility necessary to change directions when he needs to. He doesn't really allow guys to easily get through him, and you can really start to see how his size and strength can deter guys from being able to get by him for easy looks at the rim. It's not likely that he's going to be guarding centers anytime soon, but he does exhibit a pretty fair level of switchability, being able to hold his own against 1 through 4, which is perfect for a modern 3-and-D kind of player. And when you add his rebounding ability to the equation, the amount of ways that he can contribute on both the offensive and defensive end really starts to stand out. He's one of the best offensive rebounding wings in the NBA. When I talk about how he plays bigger than he actually is, that concept is arguably most apparent in his offensive rebounding
Exactly. I mean, that's why the Spurs kept moving him to the 4, because he could handle that
ability and how he's able to score second chance points off of putbacks. He uses that size and strength to outwork guys on the glass, and he can follow not only his own misses, but his teammates' misses as well to get easy points when the defenses get caught sleeping on the boards. You can see from this chart how he compares to other
okay. I love these charts. All right, let's see where he compares. Where is he? Maybe he'll tell us. Oh, he's right up here. Jeez. Oh, he's put back impact and oh my goodness. He's the best. He's the best at it. That's really impressive. You know, that comes from all that energy he brings as well. Like, that is actually stupid impressive, especially when you keep in mind that he was placed in a position that's not his natural position. That is stupid impressive.
In the NBA. He's one of the most impactful putback scorers amongst all forwards in the NBA. All of these factors culminate into perhaps one of the most well-rounded 3-and-D guys in the league. It almost makes you question the label of 3-and-D because at a certain point when you're doing so much for your team, you start to elevate past the pigeonhole label of 3-and-D wing. I wanted to find a good comparison for Keldon Johnson's third season, so I utilized a database called Cerebro, which uses 5 metrics to put a value on 5 major areas of a player's game. There's pure scoring prowess, 3-point efficiency, floor general skills, big man skills, and defensive statistical impact.
Okay. I'm interested.
I want to clarify real quick that these are not advanced stats. These are values derived strictly from the standard box score, and they're meant to be looked at in conjunction with watching games and film. They're not...
Oh, so it's pretty subjective then.
Meant to be taken strictly at face value. Keldon Johnson had a pure scoring prowess of 76, a 3-point efficiency of 82, floor general skills of 61, big man skills of 66.
Ah, so I was right about the floor general thing.
And defensive statistical impact of 71. If you look at all players classified as 3-and-D back to the 1980 NBA season, one of the only guys who met or exceeded
Why did we go all the way back down to the 80s?
Those values was 2009 Rashard Lewis.
Oh, that's a good comparison. Oh, that's actually a really good comparison. I don't think that's a bad comparison by any means. Oh, wow. Dude, that's a really good comparison. I was not expecting that. Whoa. No, that's genuinely a good comparison. I know it's super subjective, especially the eye test, but yeah, dude, I have not heard this. This is a great video. I did not hear this comparison before. This is a really great comparison. Wow.
Lewis. Now, Rashard Lewis was obviously 6'10", and Keldon is only 6'6", but they're both guys who make a lot of their money.
No, this is a really good comparison.
His perimeter catch and shoot threats, being able to attack closeouts against slower big men.
And Rashard Lewis, especially Magic, he wasn't a star necessarily. He was a really good role player. Yeah, this is a perfect comparison. Yeah, like, okay, we can use this argument all the time now because like a lot of people say, "Oh, Keldon Johnson, you're saying he's a role player, dude. What's wrong with you? You're disrespecting him." No, this is good. If I said, "Oh, no, dude, he's like Orlando Magic, Rashard Lewis," like I think no one will really argue with that. That's a yeah.
While offering strong defensive ability.
Nice.
This also speaks to Keldon Johnson's ability to play bigger than he is, fitting what Matt Issa from Basketball News describes for Rashard Lewis as too big for smalls and too fast for bigs.
Oh, this is good.
If you want to read a great article that does an awesome job of showcasing some of the similarities between Keldon Johnson and Rashard Lewis, go check out Matt's article in the description. I'll leave a link down there. I'm pretty confident that Johnson has the tools to take his game to the next level. He doesn't need to become some elite shot creator to be an incredibly impactful player. He already provides enough in other areas of the game to make me confident that he can be one of those quote-unquote role players that nabs some all-star selections throughout his career.
See? He agrees with me.
The Spurs have a really special player that fits the modern NBA to perfection, and I'm excited to see his role grow as they build upon their young team. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more...
Great video, my guy. Great video. Wow, I was not expecting that comparison. First off, I like this video. I hit it with the like. I'm going to hit you with a subscribe, and then I'm going to hit you with a good take. Period. That's how, yeah, period. All right, yeah, this was actually really good. Yeah, that's a great comparison, actually. Wow, way to end off a video. That is a great comparison. We got to use that now. Like, we definitely got to use that now. That is a really good comparison. Wow. Wow. But yeah, so good video. Thanks, guys, for sending this to me. Honestly, much of it, I was like, oh, I'm not going to get much utility out of this. This is stuff that we talk about all the time. But now I'm like, oh, no, I definitely see it. So thank you guys for sending this to me. Once again, if you guys want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description for that. Thanks for all the love, guys. Until next time, deuces.